Pachi. Hi, today with Chef Pachi, we are gonna make an amazing dish that's Asian, Latin, Caribbean, and it's a mix like me that live in the Pacific, was born in the Atlantic or in the Caribbean, and love Asian food. So we have some dry shiitake mushrooms that I bought in Japan and some Shichimi Togarashi that I got there too, which is a blend of chilies and spices that we're going to add to the rice. The shallots that are not from here or there, but still. We're going to have some bell pepper, some edamames for people that want to use this as a main dish. So just in case that they want to use this as a main dish, it already has some protein. Brown rice, coconut milk, some coconut sugar, because it's going to be a little bit sweet and spicy like it is in my hometown. And that's it. We're going to do a super simple recipe. It has a lot of special ingredients, but it's very simple because all we're going to do is we're going to place in the pot of the Instapot to saute the first ingredients, and then the rest just goes there and cooks on its own for 25 minutes. So let's begin. We are going to hydrate our mushrooms. And so what we're going to do is I have some hot water that I'm going to reheat for a second. We use warm water to place our mushrooms in it, and in that way they rehydrate and give us a liquid that we're going to use to cook our rice. We are going to place about 2 ounces of our mushrooms in the pot because we're going to rehydrate them right there. Basically, it's a one-pot dinner with delicious flavors. I think you're going to love it. And you can get your dry mushrooms anywhere and use whichever dry mushrooms you find. It doesn't have to be a particular kind like these, because you can do it with any dry mushrooms. If you use the tiny mushrooms, then make sure you weigh it because they are way stronger than these. These have a great flavor, but they're not as strong as the tiny black ones. Okay, so I think my water should be hot now. Yes. So you want the water to be warm, not hot, because if it's hot, it's kind of cooking them. It's not really going to rehydrate them. Let me measure the water, because part of that is the water we're going to use to cook our rice. So we're going to add 2 cups. Let's see how much we have here. We have almost 2 cups, so I'm going to add a little bit of cold water. Because I had it boiling for a while. Two cups or 16 ounces. And we're going to add it to our mushrooms. We're going to leave them there. You can leave them there for about 2 hours for the best taste. And then we're going to cook our rice. But since they're going to absorb some of the liquid, we are still going to add half a cup of cold water to finish the rice because we want it to open up and be amazing. So this rice has coconut milk, it's got a little bit of garlic, a little bit of turmeric, and something that I have is achote, but not everybody can get achote. And to make a little achote oil, if you want to use it instead of turmeric, all you have to do is add some olive oil. Whoops. Disaster. And cook it in a very low heat just leave it there, and then later you just have the annatto or flavor in the oil already. My stove is really strong, so I'm just going to put it there for seconds for it to heat and warm the little cup, and then leave it there in very, very low heat. It's going to take about half an hour, but we're not going to use it right now. We're going to use turmeric. Let's start adding the rest of the ingredients. So we are going to add some garlic. We have a half teaspoon of garlic. We only want it enough for it to be tasty, but not so strong. So we have our garlic. We're going to add our turmeric and our Shichimi Togarashi in 1/4 teaspoons because it's very strong and you don't want it to be super hot. If you like it a little more hot at the end, we can sprinkle some on top. Okay, so we have our garlic, we have our Shichimi Togarashi, we need to add our pepper, which is also a 1/4 teaspoon. Clean this up. Our turmeric, that's also a 1/4 teaspoon. It's going to give the rice some color. It's going to flavor it lightly because it's not a lot. And then afterwards, we're going to add some of the bell peppers. Here we go, making it Caribbean. It's spice and sweetness. So we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of coconut sugar. Salt, I usually use a teaspoon per cup, so we're going to add 2 teaspoons. Here are the 2 teaspoons of salt. And while they hydrate, they're going to take some of that delicious flavor from our garlic, our shallots. These are 2 diced shallots, which are going to cook. And then once the rice is done, they're going to be almost sweet. And this is our annatto or achote oil. You would leave it like that and then use it. But I'm going to add the seeds because it was a very quick cook and I want them to be really strong. I want all the flavor from the annatto to be infused into the oil. So I'm going to leave it just standing. And then whenever I remember, I'll put it in a jar. So now that we have all our ingredients and our mushrooms have been rehydrated, check them out. They are flexible, they're thicker, so they are ready to go. We are going to add our rice and we are going to place this in the Instapot or a powered pressure cooker for 25 minutes. When I cook brown rice, I usually add 1 1/4 cups of water to brown rice in the pressure cooker. And if it is white rice, it's 1 to 1. Cup of water to a cup of rice. So here we go. Let's add our rice. So now we have 1 to 1, 2 cups of water to 2 cups of rice. So I need to add a 1/2 cup to be the extra 1/4 cup for each. And I am going to measure it in coconut milk. This coconut milk is really strong. If you buy coconut milk from drinking coconut milk, it is less concentrated, so you would use 1 cup of it, would rehydrate your mushrooms only in 1 cup of water. But here I'm going to add 1/4 cup for each. You see it's so creamy and thick. Drinking coconut milk is not that creamy and not that thick. So that's why we use less. We mix everything here. I just want to show you that everything's here mixed. Our rice, our seasonings, everything's in the pot. It's going to go right into the pot and cook for 25 minutes. You don't have to do anything else. At the end, we're going to add, once it's cooked, we're going to add the bell peppers and the edamame because we want to have them a little bit crunchy so that everything isn't soft in the rice. Okay, so we are going to do, rice is only 8 minutes. Let's look for 25. We have 25 minutes on our pressure cooker, and we're going to leave it there for those 25 minutes, and then we're just going to serve it. So now our rice is cooked in the Instapot, and what we're going to do is we are going to add, but I want to show you first. It's totally cooked with a beautiful light color. You see that all of those grains are open. And what we're going to do is, with the remaining heat, the first thing is add the edamames so that they can be warm when you serve. Now, if you're not going to serve it there, it doesn't matter when you add them. If you're not going to serve them at that exact moment. We're going to add our bell pepper too, but half, because the rest we're going to add on top. Okay, now we are going to take our rice, pass it into our beautiful bowl. Look at all these amazing ingredients and spices. Let's add the rest so that not everything goes to the bottom. And now, with my favorite instrument, which are forks, we are going to mix it and make it beautiful. And make it beautiful for your guests, for you. Not only delicious, but beautiful too. I'm going to put some of the mushrooms on the side so we can see them and your guests can see them after decorating your dish. The heat is going to keep the bell peppers a little softer, but they're still going to have crunch, which is what we wanted to add to this very soft recipe. So we wanted to give it some crunch. It already has some heat, and now we wanted to make it more special. Here I have some dried fruit that I'm going to use to decorate. I have some green apples. I actually have some shallots too, but we're going to use those in another recipe. We are going to add our red bell peppers. Just add a little bit of volume on top and color, and we are done. So let's add some green apples, mix them with the bell peppers. Here we have some sweet potato chips that were basically dehydrated. That's it. They're going to be really crunchy. They look beautiful. And then I want to put some more of this bell pepper on top so we can actually make it shine a little more. You clean this up. Put some of these around here. We want to show our mushrooms on our rice because they are like the important ingredient in it. And we are ready to go. Here we have our beautiful brown rice for your best special occasion with our dried mushrooms that you're gonna love. It's delicious. It tastes amazing. I'm gonna try it right now. A little bit. Let's take a little bit off the side because we're gonna take a picture now. You've never tasted something like this, I think. And I think you're gonna love it too. And if you're gonna cook it and eat it as a whole dish, just add some more edamame so that every person has enough of it. Remember, it's a little bit spicy, but it's also a little bit sweet. And our last touch, a little bit of our lemon peel on top to add that citrusy flavor to the spice and the sweet. I love dishes like this. I know it's because I'm from the Caribbean and we eat a lot of this. But the mixture of the coconut and the mushrooms and the Shichimi Togarashi is great because it's also almost like our own spices. And here we go. It's absolutely beautiful and delicious. You can actually make it a day ahead and then simply decorate it and reheat it. But reheat it first and then decorate it. And you're ready to go. Here it is.